In your news tonight, an attorney with the Oklahoma Bar Association found himself on the other side of the law this weekend.
Plus, some big names are in Oklahoma City tonight, but they're not the only heroes spending the evening at the Ford Center.
And it's a fight for the right as things heat up on the presidential campaign trail. Good evening, and thank you for being here. I'm Keely McIntyre.
And good evening, I'm Monica Price. Thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight, an attorney with the Oklahoma Bar Association found himself on the other side of the law.
62-year-old Dan Murdoch was arrested Saturday night on complaints of sexual battery. Murdoch is general counsel for the Oklahoma Bar Association. Police say the incident happened at Remington Park. According to the police report, the victim claims Murdoch pulled her top down and bit her. The report also states Murdoch grabbed her by the hair and then bit her on the back of the neck. The officer did observe some red markings about 2 to 3 inches long.
She did have some physical markings that were indicative of the assault itself and also consistent with the story that she gave officers.
As for Murdoch's side of the story, he told police, quote, "I cannot believe this." And then he asked officers to call his wife.
And coming up in our next half hour, we'll have reaction from the executive director of the Oklahoma Bar Association and Murdoch's attorney.
Well, Oklahoma City police are asking for your help tonight. A teenager was shot while standing at an intersection this weekend.
Authorities believe the incident may be gang-related. KSBI TV's Jamie Ratliff joins us live with the very latest. Good evening, Jamie.
Monica and Keely, police say Sunday afternoon a 16-year-old boy was with some friends when a vehicle approached them. They were at the intersection of Northeast 16th Street and Washington Boulevard, and when those in the car opened fire and hit one of the teenagers. The individual was taken to the hospital, and officials say his injury is not life-threatening. Those in the community say they are shocked that something like this could happen in their neighborhood. And we'll be back to get you the rest of that later on in the show.
All right. Thanks, Jamie, for that update. Well, if you have any information, and of course, we'll bring you the full story in a bit, you can call Crime Stoppers. That number is 235-7300.
All right, well, time now to switch gears, get a check on our weather. We are in full swing of summer, but in my unprofessional opinion, it actually felt pretty nice out there. Not too hot today.
You know, I thought it was gorgeous, nice and warm. Let's go ahead and check in with Chief Meteorologist Brady Bruce for the latest.
Yeah, full swing of summer, and we're all wearing black today. What's that all about? You'd think we'd be in cool colors. Let's go ahead and look at this. Route 66 in Electra. And some time-lapse video from earlier from CPD Home Medical out there, looking pretty good. And let's see, what else do we have there, Colleen? Lake Hefner, the East Wharf of Lake Hefner, looking pretty good as well. I was out at Stars and Stripes Park the other day with the family. That's always a good place to head for a little bit. And let's see, Northwest 32nd and Chartel. Temperatures across the state of Oklahoma, we're into the 80s and 90s. That's a live shot from El Reno. Right now, we're into the 80s and 90s across the area. Very, very warm, 90 in Altus, 94 Guyman, 95 in Lawton. And we do have a chance for thunderstorms coming up in the forecast just in time for the 4th of July. We'll talk about all that in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Brady, for that update. Well, tonight there'll be Heroes of the Ring to thousands of wrestling fans, while some local heroes will be in the audience. WWE's Monday Night Raw hits Oklahoma City in a little more than an hour. KSBI TV's Jake Charles joins us live from the Ford Center. And Jake, what heroes are we talking about?
Well, Monica, 30 wounded soldiers and veterans will be the special VIP guests right here tonight at the Ford Center. And it's just one way that the WWE and the Soldiers Angels can say thank you and make sure that the soldiers know that they're very important to us.
We haven't even seen yet.
Tonight's live WWE action is sure to contain a lot of bumps and bruises. But it's Oklahomans who've been wounded overseas that are in tonight's spotlight.
There's a ticket. How much more excited could I get?
Kearney native Tommy McBride served in Vietnam and is one of the VIP guests.
It's like the year's well rounded out, and this is just a little extra perk to make it even more smoother. Keeps our mind off stuff that's bad for us. Well, it keeps us occupied with doing things other than sitting alone somewhere in a house or going to a bar and sitting and drinking.
I hope it takes their mind off their troubles for a little bit, which means so much to have something else occupying your mind other than what you're going through at the time.
The Soldiers Angels contacted Oklahoma's own Jim Ross about saying thanks to the soldiers.
When your whole life is a floor on a hospital, being able to get out for the night makes all the difference. And we want to give it to you.
Hey, nothing can make the WWE feel better, nothing can make Hacksaw Jim Duggan feel better than have veterans, the guys that put their life, and the women that put their lives on the line to keep us all safe and free. You know, it's just a great feeling to be able to give something back to the people that gave so much for our freedom.
Making a big impact on lives that have kept our country free.
For a lot of these guys, especially the Vietnam vets, this is actually the first time they've heard the word thank you since they've come home.
And I need all the support I can get. And this is support right here. I'm thankful.
Now, the WWE will also provide a free ticket to all active military personnel with a military ID on the day of an event, such as tonight's Monday Night Raw, as long as it's not sold out. And as of last check, there is about 500 tickets left. And as you can see, a lot of people already lining up outside the doors, which open at 6. Reporting live from the Ford Center, Jake Charles, KSBI TV.
A nice way to say thank you. Thanks, Jake, for that report. The Soldiers Angels provide any unique service that troops may need. Right now, they're trying to get a new organ for the Oklahoma City Veterans Affairs Medical Center.
Well, a one-vehicle accident claimed the life of a Norman man this weekend. Police have identified the man as 54-year-old Alan Foreman. Foreman died Saturday night when he lost control of his vehicle on a wet roadway and ended up missing the curb. Foreman's vehicle rolled onto the passenger side and he was thrown out of the car. There were no passengers in the vehicle with him. Well, very sad news to report tonight. Services are scheduled for Wednesday for a state lawmaker who was killed in a farming accident. Representative Terry Hyman died on Friday night. He was run over by his tractor while brush hogging on his farm in southern Oklahoma. Funeral services will be held at the Ardmore Convention Center at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. Democrat leader Danny Morgan commented today on Representative Hyman.
I was asked to define him the other day, and I think the best description of Terry Hyman is that he was a true citizen legislator. He took his job at the Capitol very seriously, represented his constituency great, but he really wanted to go home.
Morgan said he thinks Representative Hyman will be most remembered for his support of education. He says they are expecting a very large crowd at his funeral.
In your national news tonight, the fight for the religious right is heating up on the presidential campaign trail. Now there's a new breed of young evangelicals whose views are more far-reaching. Sandra Endo has the latest from Washington.
It's a fight for the right. Republican John McCain is trying to shore up a core group of traditionally Republican voting evangelicals. He met Sunday with the Reverend Billy Graham and son Franklin.
I appreciate the opportunity to visit with him, and I'm very grateful for the time they spent with me.
But the meeting did not lead to an endorsement. The presumptive Republican nominee is trying to gain ground with the religious right and reassure skeptical conservatives. A McCain ally says the GOP contender is focusing on conservative issues.
They're not asking the senator to talk about his personal faith or his personal relationships. What they want to know is, as president, what kind of judges would he appoint?
A new breed of voter is also becoming a presence on the campaign trail. Young evangelicals with traditional values on abortion and gay marriage, but who are also focused on social justice and the environment.
I'm very undecided. I feel like there's certain issues where I identify more with the Republicans and others where I identify more with the Democrats.
Democrat Barack Obama is also courting evangelicals, meeting recently with Franklin Graham and talking about his faith on the campaign trail, a strategy Democrats are making crystal clear.
John McCain's clearly not comfortable talking about faith. He hasn't really demonstrated a history of being comfortable working with communities of faith, whereas Barack Obama really has.
With this new breed of voter, the evangelical vote is not a sure thing for the Republican candidate, who can usually count on that powerful voting bloc. In Washington, I'm Sandra Endo.
Thanks, Sandra, for that report. And Senators McCain and Obama also took turns Saturday speaking to a group of Hispanic elected officials, each hoping to get that crucial, fast-growing voting bloc on their side as well. Also in national news tonight, President Bush signed a bill that will pay for the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan through the remainder of his presidency and into the spring of next year. The supplemental spending bill provides nearly $162 billion in war funding without the restrictions congressional Democrats vowed to put into place since they took control of Congress nearly 2 years ago.
America remains a nation at war. There are enemies who intend to harm us. Standing in their way are brave men and women who put on the uniform, who raise their right hand, and took an oath to defend our freedom.
The supplemental spending bill also contains a new GI Bill. It expands education benefits for veterans who have served since the 9/11 attacks. And that bill also provides more than $2 billion in disaster assistance for parts of the Midwest that have been hit by record floods. And those floodwaters are finally starting to recede in parts of Missouri. You're looking at video of the Mississippi River, which is cresting near the cities of Winfield and St. Charles. A few more areas across the state are still waiting for waters to reach their peaks, but the National Weather Service believes the worst of the flooding is over for Missouri. And that's a look at what's making national headlines.
All right, thanks, Monica, for that. And according to AAA, retail gas prices rose to a new record high overnight. The national average price for a gallon of gasoline climbed to $4.08 6/10, and that's up 0.7 of a cent from yesterday. AAA shows that 33 states and the District of Columbia have an average gas price above $4 a gallon. The average price here in our state is $3.86 a gallon, so I guess it could be worse. Well, still to come after the break tonight, Brady will have your holiday forecast, but first let's take a live look outside. Beautiful evening, as we've already talked about out there in Oklahoma City. A view for you from our Oklahoma City State Cam. Stay with us. We'll talk about your forecast when we come back.
Come see Oklahoma's largest selection of manufactured and modular homes, where your deed is your down payment. Open house every weekend, over 20 models to see, all beautifully decorated and lit up to view. This week featuring a luxurious 4-bedroom, 3-bath, over 1,900 square feet, only $383.39 a month.
People are smart. They know less money sunk into their mortgage means more in their pocket. With our Sleep Easy loan, you get a fixed rate for the life of the loan, no negative amortization, and you can borrow $200,000 for about $9.99 a month. So call the number on your screen now. Ditech. People are smart.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces.
Mental illness shouldn't be a taboo subject. It's everyday people battling everyday diseases.
And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had.
Here at Integris, we provide an open door and open arms to anyone who's looking for help.
I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world.
You don't have to take on the world alone.
Mad world.
Help is just a phone call away.
Mad
You ready, girl? Let's go get 'em.
I paid $15,000 for it.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Watch Tyra weekdays on Oklahoma's KSBI TV.
Welcome back. Well, extreme weather rolled over South Brunswick, New Jersey this weekend. Trees were pulled out of the ground and branches crashed into some parked cars. Some witnesses say a violent storm did all of this in 30 seconds. Can you believe that?
30 seconds. Wow.
Some say it even might have been a tornado, but luckily there were not any injuries reported
Mother
there.
Nature is amazing. You never know. But fortunately, we're getting a much different weather here in the metro. It's been gorgeous, at least in my opinion. But as Brady pointed out, we're all wearing black.
That's right. I'll wear white tomorrow. How about that? That spruce things up for you.
And Brady, we'd like to see you in a white suit as well. How does that sound?
Yeah, that's not good. No, I don't think so. When I was a kid, I used to have one, a little white suit. And anyway, Sayre, Oklahoma, Route 66 and Electra looking out there. And I'll tell you what, today is not a day to be outside wearing dark colors. And it's a hot one outside. And it looks like that'll be the case for the next few days. We will have a little cold front drop in, but that's really only going to cool us off about 8 to 10 degrees. Lake Hefner, almost said live from Lake Hefner. Lake Hefner time-lapse video from East Wharf of Lake Hefner earlier, and also from Oklahoma City Northwest 32nd and Chartel and Compassionate Care Hospice. Climate data today, here you go, 90 for this afternoon. Our record 102 back in and 25, 58 back in 1923, normal 91, and normal low right around 69. We were at 63 this morning. And checking out the allergy count for today. Allergies may be a problem due to grass. Weed is low, tree is absent, and mold is into the low category. Diffie, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury out there in El Reno, Interstate 40, and back to the west, you can see I-40 traffic right in here. Now, earlier today, there was some smoke right there on the horizon, so just wanted to tell you, if you drove past that, were wondering what that was all about, the news department's telling me that that was a controlled burn out there, but quite a bit of smoke. It went straight up, which again, that says that we don't have a lot of steering winds coming through Oklahoma right now. The jet stream energy is really not around our area, and that's why, again, the smoke just goes up and not away. 90 degrees at the airport. The dew point is 57. The winds are variable at 3, and our pressure is 30.10. It is falling. Our high today right around 91 again. And let's see, across the state of Oklahoma for our viewers out in western Oklahoma, 91 Clinton, 92 in Hobart, a little bit warmer down toward Altus at 95, south down through Chickasha about 93 there. Tulsa and Muskogee, temperatures into the upper 80s, and McAllister right around 87 degrees. Looks like nationwide, look at this. Look at all the heat out there in Las Vegas, 106, 107 in Phoenix, and then some cooler temperatures throughout, at least in parts of New Mexico, 83 there, 72 in El Paso, and 93 in Denver. A little cold front cutting through the southern portions of the United States, producing some showers and, as the ladies were talking about, some storms up to the northeast. So a little bit cooler weather there as well. But Billings, Montana, actually warmer right now than Oklahoma City at 95. Thunderstorms off to our west. This will be the case throughout the next few days. So if you're traveling out of Oklahoma for a 4th of July weekend out toward the Rockies, let's say throughout the afternoon, good chances for thunderstorms. We will have a cold front develop, move into Oklahoma for Thursday into Friday. That is not this one down to our south. It'll be a new one, but you can see right now with satellite radar data showing a big ridge of high pressure right in this area, and afternoon thunderstorms throughout the Rockies. Now, as you drop down to the southeast, all up and down this cold front, thunderstorms will be continuing throughout the evening hours and over the next couple of days. When that rascal finally moves on off to the east, things will calm down a little bit. But right now, a ridge of high pressure, and that means warm air in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, and that is not conducive for thunderstorms. We will start to see some changes, though, coming up for, as I said, Thursday into Friday. Future weather, 7 o'clock this evening. Let's go this way. Things are pretty quiet. Tuesday, take it into Tuesday afternoon. Really no big changes. Notice the southerly winds Wednesday at noon, and that is ahead of the storm system that will be trying to get into Oklahoma. We'll put in a slight chance for Wednesday at about 20 to 30% for a thunderstorm or two south of Oklahoma City, and then again Wednesday evening as well. But then that cold front drops in, as I said, Thursday, and you'll see that on the 7-day forecast. Lows tonight, 60s, daytime highs tomorrow, back up into the 90s across the area. And here's that 7-day. Chances of thunderstorms right now at Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I've got it in at 40%. It does not mean it's going to be a washout, thunderstorms all across the state, but just keep in mind there will be a chance of storms coming up late Thursday into Friday and Saturday. Notice the temperatures cool off as well, a little bit back down into the 80s and overnight lows into the 60s and 70s. Keely McIntyre, here you go. June 30th, 1959. Charles Blondin was the first one to cross Niagara Falls on what?
I would say a kayak.
A kayak?
Yeah.
On Niagara Falls?
Sure.
Okay.
Maybe.
A tightrope.
Okay. A tightrope. There we go.
He crossed Niagara Falls on a tightrope.
I guess whoever does it in a kayak has a death wish, huh?
There you go.
No, you never know.
All right.
You guys always just like to make me look silly with those, and you do it every single day. Thanks, Brady. Well, coming up after the break, doing yard work can actually be dangerous, believe it or not. So next in a health report, we'll take a look at the dangers of lawn mowing. Stay with us. You're watching Oklahoma News Tonight.
Come by Deja Vu today or give us a call, 632-9191. Discover a new you at Deja Vu.
The following announcement is brought to you by Top Dot Mortgage.
Today's top story, a toll-free hotline has been established to help all homeowners who are stuck in adjustable rate or high interest rate mortgages. The federal government has just raised the allowable loan limits on federally insured FHA 30-year fixed rate mortgages with fixed rates starting as low as 5.75%. Homeowners are urged to call now and take advantage of these FHA government-insured loans. Again, a toll-free hotline has been established for all homeowners in adjustable rate or high interest rate mortgages with less than perfect credit. These programs are only available for a limited time. Call the toll-free hotline on the bottom of your screen to take advantage of these low fixed rates. And again, your credit score may not even be a factor. We'll have more on this story and other developments on our next edition of
Top Dot Mortgage Update.
Come by Deja Vu today or give us a call, 632-9191. Discover a new you at Deja Vu.
He says you need a good lawyer. I need a great lawyer. Well, I'm pretty good.
Who ever heard of a hazel not killing anybody?
There are some people.
Sometimes when I eat a bunch of them, I feel a little funny. I always thought it was gas.
Hey, old buddy. I understand we're going to be roomies. Got a nice rhythm. I brought you these. I hate you for this. I know what your problem is. Yeah? You're too fat.
Welcome back. Summer usually means spending more time outdoors, and that means the possibility of some hidden dangers. KSBI TV's Sarah Tapple joins us to explain in tonight's health report.
Well, that's right, Keely. It's that time of year when homeowners are spending more time doing yard work. But even the normal task of mowing your lawn can be dangerous. These days, you won't catch Andre Reeves mowing his own lawn. After an accident on a riding mower, he now leaves it to the pros.
I came too close to the curve, so I couldn't stop. My shorts got caught on the lever, so I ended up sliding off and my foot went under.
He ended up losing 3 toes on his right foot. Orthopedic surgeon Marvin Royster says lawnmower-related injuries are more common than ever.
They started out with good intentions, and then what happened was that something went wrong. They slipped on the lawnmower, the grass was wet, the lawnmower's overturned with them.
There can also be problems with flying debris. Royster explained many accidents can be avoided by wearing protective clothing.
You need to really make sure you're wearing long pants and have some type of protective shoe on. Cutting the grass with flip-flops on or sandals on, you're just asking for trouble.
Andre knows that firsthand, and he wishes he had done things differently before his accident.
Even in the hospital, you know, I was just like, man, did this just happen to me?
Well, coming up in tomorrow's health report, there's nothing like heading to a lake or river to get some exercise on a hot summer day. I'll tell you why rowing is becoming such a popular workout among teens. Keely.
All right, Sarah, thanks for that. And coming up next on Oklahoma News Tonight, it is never too early to start thinking about the future. So up next, important information about the health and safety of your children. Stay with us.
Imagine a place of healing, where the pain that comes along with how we live just goes away. And what if you could go there tonight and every night? Welcome to Tempur-Pedic. At Tempur-Pedic, we don't simply bring you a bed to sleep on. We believe a bed should do more. Padding and pillow tops only disguise a simple truth. A bed of metal springs with hundreds of pressure points push against you all night. But our unique Swedish Tempur material is designed to take the pressure away. Because here, we believe in nighttime renewal for both body and mind. We invite you to learn more about our science and experience our soul. Welcome to Tempur-Pedic. Welcome to bed.
A J.G. Wentworth success story. Frank and the Structured Settlement.
Well, I had a nasty car accident, and following my lawsuit, I ended up receiving a structured settlement.
Frank had a long payout with a small check each month.
Well, it wasn't long before bills started to pile up. Credit cards,
mortgage, utilities, car payments.
It didn't seem right. It was my money.
Frank turned to J.G. Wentworth.
Well, he told me they help people get cash for their structured settlements and annuities.
If you have a structured settlement or annuity and you need cash now, call J.G. Wentworth. You'll get a free appraisal and we'll answer all your questions. Don't wait any longer. The call is free and there's no obligation.
My advice is call J.G. Wentworth. They helped me, and they made it easy.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Call J.G. Wentworth.
Call 866-792-1180, 866-792-1180.
You're watching Oklahoma News Tonight.
Welcome back. Even though the school year recently ended, it's a good time to prepare for the next school year by arranging to get your children vaccinated as soon as possible. Joining us tonight is Susan Mendez with the Oklahoma State Health Department. Thank you, Susan, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's first of all start off about talking about the importance of this. This is something that is so critical for parents to do.
Yes, it is. It's important for the kids and for the whole community, because if we don't keep vaccinating, then these diseases can come back.
And speaking of diseases, there are still problems out there. There are still measles cases that we have seen just in 2008 alone. Tell us about that.
Yes, it may seem like a surprise, but we have 64 confirmed cases of measles in the United States so far this year, which is the highest number we've had since 2001. And it just gives us all a reminder that measles is so contagious. If you're not vaccinated and you're exposed, you will probably get the disease.
You know, question parents are always asking, what are the requirements? What do I need to get done for my child?
Well, children who are going into kindergarten are due for their boosters before they enter kindergarten. That's DTaP, diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis, and a polio booster, and a second dose of measles, mumps, and rubella.
Now, there is another vaccine you want to talk about, somewhat controversial to some people. Tell us about that.
Yes, there's a new HPV vaccine, human papillomavirus vaccine, that's recommended for all girls at age 11 to 12. And it prevents cervical cancer, it prevents some of the viruses that cause cervical cancer. It doesn't prevent all of the viruses that cause cervical cancer, but two of them that cause 70% of cervical cancer. And it's important that girls get that before they begin having sexual activity. 11 to 12 is the recommended age for all preteens, including boys, to go see your doctor and get the new Tdap vaccine, which is tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis, meningococcal vaccine, and for girls, HPV vaccine.
Susan, good information. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
And stay with us. There's much more Oklahoma News tonight when we return.